Hello students, welcome to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. This is Dr. K. Bhavani Shankar from Department of Sociology, Nizam College. Today we will be discussing Unit 8 Strategies of Social Development as part of BA Sociology 3rd semester Social Issues, Policies and Development Program. Each and every nation, if they want to develop, simply making policies and simply giving fund doesn't make any sense. They need to make strategies for social development, and these are either designed by the internal forces or by the external elements to any nation. As already discussed, we said that the external factors are going to play a vital role. In the year, the Government of India under the leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao, when we have gone to the World Bank to avail loans, they have put on certain conditions to us like liberalization, privatization and globalization, and we were forced to accept that so that we can get the loans, so that we can provide certain opportunities or facilities to the people of India. So, the strategies can either be designed by internal forces or influenced by the external forces. The path of social development was actually adopted by the third world countries because these countries are economically poor and a large section of the people are below the poverty line, and we see large section of people are illiterate and the population is high, and most of the people are depending on the agriculture sector. Along with this, we also found that we have evil practices in the society. So, in order to eradicate all the issues, we need to have certain strategies, my dear friends. So, there are two options in front of the government. One is to either increase the production or else go for distributive justice. So, if you are going to increase the production, obviously what happens, there will be two sections within the society who are capitalist and the other one is working class. So, obviously the capitalists are going to build up the pressure on the working class and they may exploit them, and this may lead to class struggle in the near future. And this conflicting situation can also bring the changes in the institution as well as in the society. Now, when we talk about the distributive justice, it provides the option to lead to inclusive growth, or sometimes it may also go for exclusive of distortive justice, which may be based on power dynamics, class forces and so on, my dear friends. Now, let us discuss the concept of social strategy. Social strategies for social development. We are going to have strategies for social development. It is going to look after the welfare of all the people. When we talk about social development, it can be social, economical, political, psychological, environmental and so on. For each and everything we may have individual strategies or we may have holistic one. For example, right now the entire world is being globalized. It has been turned into a global village, and industries are going to play a vital role. And the government of India also wants to go for industrialization, massive industrialization. So, if we want to go for industrialization, we require human resource. So, the government of India has started Skill India program, and they started providing skills, nurturing the skills of the individuals so that they can utilize the opportunities. And if we want to start the industries, we require money, finances. The government do not have sufficient resources so that they can go for public infrastructure. So, we are going for foreign direct investment. We are requesting the NRIs to come back to India and invest in India so that they will be benefited and the nation will also benefit out of it. The third one, what they have done is, we cannot have the inventions on our own. So, we started requesting the people to transfer the technology to our people. So, in the long run, it becomes a part. So, we may also go for partnership, like Russian people and Indian, we have gone for BrAHMOS missile. We jointly have developed that, and we started selling the BrAHMOS missiles to the people across the world, we can see. So, each and every country has their own strategy for developing the society, nothing but the people. So, the first component is the physical one. The second one is we need to have strategies for developing the human resource. The government of India, in order to develop the resources, we are talking about free and compulsory education, we are talking about midday meals program, and we are talking about skill development program, and recently we also have brought the changes in the educational system, like we have introduced NEP 2020 and so on. The third one is institutional means, because all the policies, whatever the strategies are there, these are designed, these are implemented and controlled by the institutional means. If the institutions are not going to transform itself, then obviously there will be a problem. So we can see that there are certain institutional changes happening in the country. We used to have 5-year plans. Right now it has been replaced with the Niti Aayog and so on. So these are the three important components for formulating the strategies: fiscal, human, as well as the institutional means, my dear friends. Now let us discuss the objectives of social development strategy. We need to have a clear, concrete choices and priorities. What is our choice and what is our priority? If we do not have a clear-cut priority, if we don't know what exactly we want, then the strategy, we cannot design a strategy and we cannot implement it effectively. We cannot make the people part of that program. So we need to have a concrete choice and priority. And then we need to determine the resources. What kind of resources are required? How much money is required? How much human resources are required to introduce this development strategy? So we need to have that in mind. The third one is, simply putting on the paper doesn't make any sense. So you have designed how much human resource is required, how much financial resources are required. So you need to allocate these resources for implementing the strategy. Then what kind of tools we are going to use, we need to specify that. For example, in India, we have this Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act or scheme. Actually, we have introduced for two purposes. The first purpose is that agriculture sector cannot provide employment across the year. So there is seasonal unemployment. 3 months, the people may not find employment. So the young people or the skilled people are migrating to the nearby towns or cities in search of job. So there is a huge burden on the towns or cities. At the same time, the people who are unskilled or semi-skilled and who are older people are not in a position to migrate. So no work, no money. So obviously there is going to be a problem for them. So in order to tackle these two issues, my dear friends, the government has introduced this program so that they can address the issues of poverty and at the same time the burden on the towns or cities, my dear friends. So we also have to foster the institutional changes and we also need to have strategies for action plans. Now let us discuss about the implementation of these strategies. First one is, these strategies will be influenced by internal or external factors. Already discussed this. Then we also need to see the applicability, whether it can be applied or not, whether it is feasible for the government to introduce this strategy or not, and how effective it is. Because the schemes will vary and need to be varied from place to place, because the conditions may not be the same in each and every society or in each and every nation, my dear friends. The conditions which are there in Telangana may not be the same in West Bengal or Jammu and Kashmir and so on. So we are going to see whether we can apply, whether it is feasible or whether it is effectively implemented or not. So we need to take all these conditions into account while designing a strategy and implementing the strategies, my dear friends. Thank you.